So about 10 days ago, I had surgery, and I always knew that there was going to be a couple of weeks of recovery where I wouldn't be that mobile and I'd be stuck in the house essentially. So I thought that it would be good to line up a project, which is the one that I'm going to show you now. So I've been working on this for the last 10 days. I wanted to take these 2 weeks of recovery to be able to start building the environment for this story as a way of thinking more about the story, which is something that I've been doing for a few years on the projects that I've been making, is trying to make the kind of writing process much more a part of the production process. And I knew the sort of top line story, and I knew what the location was going to be, but I didn't know, like what I'm showing you now, I didn't know any of this. I've literally just designed it and built it this week. It takes place in an Airbnb, and I wanted this kind of 70s modernist house that are like the ones that you see at Shoreham Beach, not far from where I live. And I wanted it to be in a slight kind of, past its best. Because the house is really a character. But also I wanted to be able to do something which is to write the story inside the place where it happens. And again, this is something that I started doing about 2016. I'd been attempting to write, then make, and I always found it a bit annoying. And so I started to just write and make at the same time. Before this, I had been a filmmaker for like 15 years. And I got really into the craft of cinematic storytelling, which sounds a bit affected, but I did become quite obsessed, and I made a lot of films and I experimented a lot, and I really loved the visual storytelling that you have in cinema as well, the little details. So with this, what I wanted to do was work on the visual storytelling and the character of the house, live in it, kind of build it, live in it, and make the story while I was in here. And that's what I've been doing, and I've made a lot of progress. I kind of have a really good sense now of exactly how the story unfolds, and I'm beginning to now expand on the building of the house. What I wanted to say, as well as about the idea of kind of writing in the spaces where the story happens like this, is that that I wanted the house to be a place, first and foremost, that the player lives in. So I didn't want the player to come into this space and hunt down the story. In fact, I want to make it impossible for that to happen. What I want is that the house is full of functionalities, like some of the ones I've just been showing you here, and you can literally just do things in this house, and that doing things in this house is itself a really interesting thing to do. And that whilst you're in this house doing things, essentially living in it, a story begins to unfold around you, and it's kind of a horror.
To feel the press of time itself together.
None of this is that genius. It's just that what is interesting is being able to do this, make the environment, and make the story at the same time, and all the systems in the house.
Imagine for a minute that the universe is like a radio. You tune into a station.
Because it becomes a very beautiful, kind of seamless way of making a story. the way it's going to be played.